Live from virtual Kansas Speedway, welcome race fans one and all back to Green Flag TV, where tonight we get set to kick off the penultimate round in the OMSRL Xfinity Series. Welcome to the Speedway Digital 150 from virtual Kansas City. It's going to be a fun-filled race tonight, and a race that could very well see a champion crowned by the end of the evening, as Holden McGill will be entering this race 50 points clear in the points lead as he'll get set to take this one away. He is 50 points clear of Spencer Ray and Ryan Dingler. Almost nothing stopping the Badger Racing number 21 from being able to lock himself in with a championship over at season's end here tonight. Robert Peterson and Sean Kaiser will be duking it out with Dingler and Ray for the number 2 spot in the points. Second through fifth, separated by a mere 3 points total. And then, of course, it is only 4 back to Musadi, another 6 to Brandon Kluge. It's really it's about a close battle, 2nd through 8th, separated by only, 19 points. And then, of course, that 50 up to Holden McGill, as he has once again been showing just how dominant he has been all season long in this OMSRL Xfinity Series Championship. And that is looking like it will not be changing anytime soon. But before we can get into all the nuance of that, we do have qualifying currently underway from the Kansas Speedway for the Speedcrest Digital 150, and Speedcrest Digital being represented tonight by, as always, the likes of Barrett Morton. Currently sits 7th on the points boards, as he'll be looking to take that number 7 car around for the Kentucky native, and he'll cross start finish this time by. We'll see if this will be of any sort of improvement. He was falling back to 9th at the start of the lap. He'll improve himself to 6th with a 30.723. So qualifying again is underway. Let's take a ride on board with Jacob Noyes, and he'll take us for a lap or two around Kansas Speedway. Well, it doesn't look like it, as Morton having to abandon his run here in the early stages with a bit of an awkward opening lap. Will move to the likes of Nathaniel Ames, as the driver that is taking it currently up and around their turn numbers 3 and 4 will be looking to take it across start finish this time by. And that will put him up to the number 12 spot on points boards, or on the timing sheets, I should say. Ripping the high banks around the Kansas Speedway as he fires it down the American Ethanol backstretch, hitting speeds of up to 187 miles an hour at the end of the back straightaway as he'll work across start finish. Currently sits the only driver in the 31-second bracket. We'll take it up to the start finish stretch this time by, and what do we have? It'll be no improve. Well, 30.942 improves on the time, but not so much on the position. We look back again to Jacob Noyes, now starting his 2nd lap as he's trying to take that car up and around the speedway, as you got the likes of Spencer Ray just cross the start finish line. Ray will go 7th quick on the boards. Jacob Noyes will be looking to cross start finish. He currently sits 15th out of everybody here on the points sheets. As Jacob Noyes, the only driver not to put down a lap, and he will remain down in the number 15 spot. Now, Brandon Kluge. What can Kluge do as he'll work his way off of turn number 4? Trying to improve from the 14th spot as he'll fire across. Start finish this time by, and put them up to the number 10 spot. So Brandon Kluge is up to 10, and that is all cars then finished in their qualifying efforts. Nobody else is on the racetrack. Everybody has put down the 2 qualifying laps that they need. So let's once again review the point situation entering tonight's race. At this point, Holden McGill has the points slip. We only have 15 cars, so that means that McGill is essentially guaranteed a minimum of 30 points by the end of the race tonight. So it's not looking good for anybody that wants to try to attack Holden McGill up the road. McGill will start this race from 5th. You count the stage points that you can get, McGill can very easily get another 50 points before the end of the race tonight. Now, that's not to say that the other drivers will lose too much, but if that points gap is any greater than about 40 or so leaving tonight's race, it is almost a guarantee that Holden McGill will have himself secure with the championship by the end of the race tonight. But qualifying is complete, so we will get set to take a rundown here and show you how everything is going to line on up as we get set to go racing for 100 laps of racing action around the Kansas Speedway. It's Anthony Musadi on pole position by 74 thousandths as Robert Peterson is down beside him, locking out, being the first driver to lock out the front few rows for Badger Racing. Matt Cherry, Ryan Dingle on row 2, Holden McGill and Grant Peterson are back on row 3. Badger Racing locking out first all the way back through 6th in the race tonight. Spencer Ray and Daniel Half will be back on row 4. Bear Morton and Brandon Kluge on row 5. Jake McCann and Sean Kaiser back on row number 6. Then you'll have Steph Purcell, Nathaniel Ames, and Jacob Noyes making up the 15-car grid. So all drivers are now in their cars and ready to go racing. Just about. We're waiting on Morton and McGill as of right now, as those two drivers, the last ones that will be left. Bear Morton grids up, now waiting on the points leader, the Badger Racing number 21 of Holden McGill. He is gridded on up, so we are ready to get this show underway from the Kansas Speedway as these cars will roar to life. And we get set to see what these next 100 laps of racing will bring. Field work in the back stretch as it'll be Anthony Musati to take things to the green flag, this time by the driver of that number 49 car, running very different colors to what we're used to seeing from Anthony Musati's machine, as he'll work the high side of turn numbers 3 and 4. And as always, we're happy that you could join us here on a Tuesday night. Pace cars off. We're ready to see if we'll lock out a championship by the end of racing action tonight. Into the Geico Restart Zone. Green flags in the air. We're underway from Kansas Speedway. Musati leads the first lap to green as we hightail it down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Musati and McGill side by side for the number 2 spot. Matt Cherry trying to throw it 3 wide up the middle. Just behind them, Ryan Dingler, Spencer Ray, Grant Peterson, and more, all locked in a dogfight. Robert Peterson started to establish a run from the top shelf as the number 97 AMD Radeon Mustang trying to push to the front. He collects the wall, as did the 48 of Matt Cherry. McGill's already up to 3rd as we fire it down towards turn number 1. Once again, Musati still with the race lead down on the low side. And all these drivers looking to really pile on the pressure. Peterson giving a bump to the back of Anthony Musati, down the back stretch that last time by. Stage lap will be at lap 40. So 40 going to 41. Field run estimated to be about 35, 38 laps or so. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any drivers stretching it towards the stage. Meaning this is going to be a race that'll see drivers pitting in the midst of this. So you have to wonder if that means everybody will just be going as hard as they can instead of trying to save fuel. Robert Peterson around the top, trying to pick off Musati for the lead on lap number 4. Working the outside line. Musati still down to the bottom, trying to set up a run for the inside, but there's just no speed. Robert Peterson to the point to lap number 5. Not going to stop Musati from trying to chase back to the bottom as Anthony Musati gets a run established, holding McGill right in the fray. All 15 cars still packed up line and stern, 1.8 seconds from first to last. But looking like Robert Peterson has wanted to establish himself early on Checking in on Bear Morton, Brandon Kluge, and more. Got Daniel Haff and Graham Peterson just up the road trying to do battle. Daniel Haff into the outside wall once and then again. Rebounded off and then overcorrected back into the wall. So Haff losing a boatload of spots early on. Bad news for the Castrol Super Clean Mustang as he'll be starting to drop towards the tail end of this field. Right on board with Daniel Haff. Entering turn one, and we'll jump back a bit further. This will be entering that opening corner. Take a look here. He just isn't too hot, gets into the wall. Cranked it left to get it out of the wall, and then overcorrected back into the outside fence. Putting some damage on that number 32 car as he'll fall to the back. Ryan Dingler and Spencer Ray in the meantime going to continue the dogfight down into turns 1 and 2. Working the back stretch as Dingler tries to attack down the low side in towards turns 3 and 4. Holden McGill, Matt Sherry, and more all packed up line astern. Spencer Ray cutting from top to bottom of the McDonald's Supra, trying to make us some more moves for All-American Motorsports. Ray being really the first driver to actually properly attack the Badger Racing Sig Tech, I think you could call it, up the road. As all the while, Matt Sherry still scrapping it out with McGill for third. Working lap number 10 around the Speedway. So time very quickly advancing through what's been an already rapid-fire race. As always, not tending to disappoint, and we'll single file things out down the backstretch. Jacob Noyes tracking up from the bottom. Look out for the 20 of Jacob Cannon, getting muscled up towards the outside wall, nearly up and into the outside safer barrier. And the remain packed up door to door down in the turns 1 and 2, but you can see just how much Cannon's able to get a drive from the top here. And Jacob Noyes trying to pull in the side draft, but it's not going to do anything. He pulls clear by about half a car length. Noyes trying to fight this one back and size up a pass into 3 and 4. Doesn't look like it's all that effective, though, at the moment, as Noyes will just work the bottom lane, and I think Cannon will eventually manage to overwhelm him from the top side with the all-out speed. Oh, as Cannon gets into the wall that time, and I'm going to stand corrected. Sean Kaiser sticking it 3 wide up the middle, as Kaiser will duck his way through and pick up 10th. Immediately attacking Noyes. And secure a top 10 position there for Sean Kaiser. Take a ride on board with Kaiser as he saw what was happening and decided to take advantage. Cannon scrapes the wall, sees the hole, and just goes for it. Never lifted, even as it was starting to close. Bear Morton and Brandon Kluge, meanwhile, also tucked up in their own little battle here as Morton fighting it out for 8 and 9 down the hill into turn 1. Bear Morton looking like he will have that number 8 spot secure, though, in his Spearcrest Digital Chevy Camaro. The Badger train that still locks out the top 5 has shown no signs of faltering yet as Holden McGill and Matt Cherry continue to take different lines. McGill really opting for the bottom, I think trying to close up on Cherry, but looking like it's only reeling in Ryan Dingler and Spencer Ray. So there's your 4-way fight for the final podium position now. Musadi and Peterson both clear by about 4 to 5 tenths of a second respectively up the road. McGill, remember, gunning for a championship before the end of the night as he very much has potential to lock it out. Just behind, Ryan Dingler still applying the pressure as well. Trying to get to the back bumper. Even though McGill's going for a championship, this is not stopping Dingler from getting right up the back bumper. And now McGill pokes to the inside of Matt Cherry, dives to the inside down to the turn 3. Looking to pull the slide job as he tracks up Cherry into the wall again. And that lets Dingler through on the bottom, and it allows McGill to clear for third. See how much these guys are ripping that outside line. Kansas has always been an outside heavy racetrack, but especially in B-class cars, it's almost the only lane you can really run if you're trying to maintain momentum. And if you're going to pass from the bottom, you really have to throw it in when you're right there and hope that you can pull a slider to make the move stick. Down the front stretch, Stefan Purcell looking to get around Jacob Noyes in the fight for 11th. Noyes taking it from the bottom, though. Purcell sending it in around the outside. Purcell looking like, as Cannon again scrapes the wall. Looking like Purcell will clear from Noyes. Now that leaves Spencer Ray attacking Ryan Dingler into 3 and 4. But again, no room. Ray is forced to yield. Now Anthony Musadi falling back into the clutches of a charging Holden McGill. Musadi down low, McGill up high. As here comes the run down the backstretch. And into turn 3. McGill trying to sweep up across the nose of Musadi. Clears. Musadi now with a huge run of speed is trying to cut back to the bottom, and he's there. Badger Racing going to war as Anthony Musadi back to the bottom. All the while, Matt Cherry has bailed out of this group. He's down to pit road. Musadi bobbles from the top, and that lets Dingler make a huge jump to the inside. Ducks around the 49, which looks to have burned up his rubber early. Leave Dingler and McGill. Well, I say that. Musadi might not be down and out just yet as he's now trying to battle back through 1 and 2. Spencer Ray just waiting in the wings, letting these guys burn their equipment up. Spencer Ray, again, sized up an attack. I think he's realized just how weak Musadi is right now. And so he's going to take full advantage of that and duck to the inside. Jacob Cannon also hits pit road. Both Cherry and Cannon pitting fairly early here as, Ray way up the track. Slams the wall and will fire down to the apron. That might cost him a top 5 as here comes Graham Peterson working into the fray. As was mentioned, though, it's a very early call for Cannon that should be pitting. They're only about just over halfway through their fuel stint. You can tell they are at the moment hoping that either there's a caution or that they can make up the time on some fresh rubber here to keep themselves up in the fray. They're both going to be down a lap as a result. Dingler trying to keep clear of Grant Peterson, but Peterson to the bottom. And the Mahindra Tractors Supra now making moves. Trouble Jacob Cannon spun around at turn 1, but down low on the racetrack. That will have been exiting pit road as well. So the Yahoo Toyota will work his way back onto the racetrack as your battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th arrives on scene. And we've got Jacob Noyes now hitting pit road. Here's what happened to the number 20. Yep, just spun the tires up, leaving pit road, and that sends Jacob Cannon around. But now you can see with the fresh rubber, Jacob Cannon starting to disrupt these battles as he's trying to go through and unlap himself. But because of that spin, he's now putting himself 2 down instead of 1. That could be a race-critical error for the number 20. Noyes leaves pit road. He'll also be a lap down. Dingler still looking to get up, back up and around Grant Peterson. Everybody else in this train here has since started to slip further back and drop off the main group. As all the while, Peterson, Dingler, remaining tucked up line astern. They remain the closest battle currently on the racetrack. Well into the second half now of the opening stage, and 3 cars so far have pitted. Those being Matt Cherry, Jacob Noyes, and then of course Jacob Cannon. However, to say that it's not gone their way is a bit of an understatement at the moment. Spencer Ray under fire by Sean Kaiser. I think all that damage on the right front from slapping that outside wall has been hurting Ray, and now he's in damage control mode as Sean Kaiser powers through around the top and makes an easy pass there on Spencer Ray. That was for 7th. So Ray might be hoping to get some of that damage fixed when he comes down to pit road before the end of the stage. All the while, way up the road, Robert Peterson is pulled clear by 1.8 seconds. Jacob Cannon has unlapped himself, putting himself only 1 down. Robert Peterson is showing that he is a force to be reckoned with here tonight, as it could very well be a 97 show up at the head of the field. Holden McGill has broken well clear, meanwhile with Musadi and more, and he is steadily running Peterson down, but it's not enough to catch him to go for the stage win at this rate. Not unless we see a major fall off on that number 97 car up the road. Ten laps to go in stage number 1. Grant Peterson, Ryan Dingler, trying to keep it in touch with the other guys up the road. As all the while, the 8 car will continue to close in. At this point, I don't think any of these guys are pushing too hard. I think they're more just managing, trying to make sure that they have enough tires to make sure that they can safely make it to the end of the stage. Expecting pit stops within less than 10 laps. We've already seen 3 come down and make very early stops, so we'll see if anybody else will opt to come down earlier. There you see Matt Cherry blowing by, as Cherry, like we saw Cannon do earlier, trying to unlap himself of this field, and Jacob Noyes isn't too far behind. Well, he's a bit far behind, but trying to make progress. Van Moort's making a pretty easy pass on Ryan Dingler. That was for 5th, and I think Dingler got a big close to the outside wall and had to lift out, and that's what allowed that Spear Crash Digital Chevy Camaro to get through. Daniel Half is into pit road this time by the number 32 car. That's barely any surprise. We saw him tank the wall something fierce early on, and now Anthony Musadi is in. Barrett Morton, Ryan Dingler, also coming into pit road. Spencer Ray and hot behind, and Brandon Kluge ducks in as well. Good host of drivers then all into pit road on lap 34. And expecting the remaining 6 now to be pitting in short order. Now, where will this put Matt Cherry? This is going to be my big question. Holden McGill, Grant Peterson, Sean Kaiser, all down and into pit road as well, just behind. Musadi and Co. leave pit road just in front. There's CJ Cannon working the racetrack just a little ways behind, and Matt Cherry has just unlapped himself. I believe Robert Peterson to be coming down this time, and he is. Keep tabs down on the track map there, as you'll see Matt Cherry highlighted in green, Robert Peterson in faded gray in pit road. We're tracking to see where Matt Cherry, one of the first drivers to pit, will exit in relation to Robert Peterson. Now this is going to be the critical step here. This is going to see if Matt Cherry has a chance at taking the lead, and it looks like he will, as Matt Cherry will make an easy break around Robert Peterson to go to the point. So the fresh rubber playing into Matt Cherry's favor, but he's going to be down on pace now for the entire rest of this run. I don't think he's going to hold that lead. Still have to wait for Stephen Purcell and Nathaniel Ames to pit as well, just up the road. They got a lot of traffic unlapping themselves as well to boot. So if I'm these guys, I'm wanting to pit now. There's no point in staying out this long. You can't make it to the end of the stage. I think they're trying to set themselves up by making sure they're on fresh tires for a majority of the run. As Purcell pitting this time. And Ames stays out for one more, trying to get the bonus point for leading a lap. Meanwhile, Musadi and Robert Peterson raging on. This is the battle for net P4. As Matt Cherry clear by 7 seconds, back to Jacob Noyes. Barrett Morton, Ryan Dingler, Grant Peterson, all under a blanket. And Ames finally decides to bail. So he was the last driver to pit. Ryan Dingler gets around Grant Peterson, immediately cuts to the inside, trying to get around Barrett Morton down in the turn 3. Sends it in deep. Barrett Morton trying for the switchback. No room. Ryan Dingler secures himself up in 6th. Dingler still washing way up towards that outside wall, but he keeps it off and starts to diamond it down. Get the best possible run out of the corners. Barrett Morton under fire by Grant Peterson, looking for the outside as well. There's Morton. He's not the only driver under fire. Jacob Noyes, the guy that pitted on the same lap as Matt Cherry, overtaken by Holden McGill for the number 2 spot. Matt Cherry, though, was questioning that call to pit super early. He is going to be way down on pace for the rest of the run, yes, but this will allow him to score maximum points. Matt Cherry, after undercutting the field by a good 14 laps, takes the win in stage number 1. The drag race with the line between Musadi and Noyes for 3rd. We'll see Anthony Musadi pick it up. So it is Cherry, McGill, Musadi, Noyes, Robert Peterson, Ryan Dingler, Grant Peterson, Morton, Ray, and Kluge to round out the top 10 for points. Daniel Ames, by the way, 2 laps down. He had to take the tow. He ran out of fuel on pit road. That's the price of going for that 1 extra point. Now he may very well have shot himself in the foot for the duration of this race. Ryan Dingler and Jacob Noyes, meanwhile, still scrapping it out side by side. As we dive it in deep into turn numbers 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, to the backstretch. Whoa, Noyes way up the track and losing time to Grant Peterson. Noyes is immediately going to be on the back pedal, and let's take a look at the times between Matt Cherry and Holden McGill. This will tell a story. Look at how much time Cherry is losing every single lap trying to keep Holden McGill behind. And that is what 14 lap difference on a set of tires will do. 1.2 seconds. Pretty consistently, surprisingly consistently, in fact, which says a lot about how much McGill is closing in on the old tire, on the new tires. This lap by, same thing, 1.2. Jacob Noyes being split 3 wide between Brandon Kluge and Spencer Ray, as Ray took it down low. Sean Kaiser breaks around Morton as well, or Noyes as well. Holden McGill, meanwhile, has caught Matt Cherry. And I'm willing to bet we'll have a new leader by the end of lap 45. Ames throws down the fastest lap at the 30.91, but here comes McGill to the bottom, and it's an easy overtake. Holden McGill through to the race lead on the exit of turn 2. It was a move we kind of saw coming from a mile off, as we'll look back to Sean Kaiser, Spencer Ray, Brandon Kluge, fighting for 8th, 9th, and 10th, and all 3 are chase drivers. Working down the turn numbers 1 and 2, Cherry drops to 4th. As now he'll have to start bleeding positions like Jacob Noyes is. Looking like this may be a battle that has itself situated for the most part as we work lap 46, coming to 47. Overall, it's been a quiet race, but a pretty fun race at that. It's been action from start to finish, as now Grant Peterson and Ryan Dingler exchanging blows. Pretty easy tuck back in the line as Dingler. Oh, now into the outside wall. That's no bueno. Grant Peterson shoots through on the bottom. Here comes Morton, and we'll see if Ray will catch him by the time he gets to turn 1. Don't think so. But Dingler going to cost himself by a good second or so with that scrape along the outside wall coming down into turn 3. And he's into the wall again. This time 1 and 2, and he'll drop now down to 10th. Goodness gracious. So Dingler hemorrhaging positions. That car not running healthy right now, as that's been 2 corners in a row that he's scraped along. Matt Cherry, Grant Peterson. Remaining tucked up line astern as Peterson fires around the top side of Cherry, and now Bear Morton looking to make an easy pass around the top side as well. Morton throws it in, and Morton goes through. Holden McGill, the driver going for a championship tonight. We've talked about him already a few times throughout the course of the afternoon, and now we will get the chance to see what he's made of now that he is in completely clean air. As Holden McGill works his way out of turn numbers 3 and 4. Time to take a rundown of your full field rundown as we're halfway home from the Kansas Speedway. Holden McGill leads the way so far from Kansas to the Spear Crest Digital 150 as Robert Peterson picks it up in second, down 1.4 seconds behind. Grant Peterson runs in no man's land for third, 0.4 of a second behind him. You have Grant Peterson, followed by Barrett Morton. Spencer Ray is back at the number 6 spot with Sean Kaiser and Brandon Cluj tucked up in a three-way battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Matt Cherry still losing spots in time, down in 9th. Ryan Dingler, after scraping the wall twice, make that now 3. Runs down last spot in the top 10. Then you have Jacob Noyes hitting pit road as he reaches the end of his stint. Expect Cherry to be in before too long. Stephen Purcell, Daniel Haff, and Jacob Cannon are the last few drivers running on the lead lap. And then Nathaniel Ames runs 2 laps down. Tonight's race is brought to you by, of course, Spearcrest Digital. Now, Spearcrest Digital is, it's a search engine optimization service located in Louisville, with clients all over the U.S. and Canada. You can find out more by visiting them at www.spearcrestseo.com. That is spearcrestseo.com. 53 laps down, just under 50 to go as we are halfway home from the Kansas Speedway. Trouble on the back straightaway as we will not go to break. Caution flag is out as we have calamity on the backstretch. Brandon Cluj, Spencer Ray coming together with Sean Kaiser. This is what Matt Cherry was hoping for. Now he could get on cycle with everybody else. And they'll have to pit one more time before the end of this race as well. Take a look at the replay. Sean Kaiser watches up. Cluj tried to cut down low as, oh wow, they all came together. That was just messy all around, it looked like. So you got another look at this one. Here you see Kaiser into the wall, then came Ray, and then Cluj just got hooked together. Spencer Ray did a good job of keeping that out of the inside wall. We'll ride on board with the back of Sean Kaiser, who got away with that scot-free in 6th. Just tagged the wall, and then Ray went down into Cluj, and it was on from there. On board with Ray. And they were both pushing hard, trying to get to the wall. Just a lazy little slide all around. Matt Cherry doing a good job to duck around that. Same for Barrett Morton and more. Field is down in the pit road. McGill leads them down. He'll lead them off. As the rest of the field will slowly but surely cycle through. So, caution flag is out for the first time this afternoon. We'll take a quick break. We're back with a restart. You're watching the OMSRL Xfinity Series under caution flag number 1 on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Speedcrest Digital 150 at the Kansas Speedway. We are one lap to green. We'll restart on lap 58. Holden McGill, Robert Peterson, Anthony Mussatti will lock out the top three for Badger Racing. Bear Morton has worked up to fourth with the pit stops. Grant Peterson runs in fifth. Sean Kaiser rounds out the top three rows. All drivers have taken 4 tires and fuel, save for Jacob Noyes, who only took fuel only on his stop. I believe so that was so he could get back on and remain on the lead lap. Nathaniel Ames got the wave around this time by. He will now sit just 1 lap down and will no doubt be looking to try to get that lap back with the Lucky Dog free pass if we get another caution here in quick succession. Pace car will be down and in this time by, as Holden McGill will work us out of turn 4. To the front straightaway. Green flags out. Here we go. We're back underway. Solid getaway from everyone all around. Cold tires not catching anybody out just yet as we work out of turn 2 down the American Ethanol backstretch. Grant Peterson, Robert Peterson side by side for third. Mussatti ducking to the inside of McGill for the lead. And Mussatti sweeps up, slides up into the wall. Big time for Anthony Mussatti. Knocks the rear bumper off of that 49, and Holden McGill will drive it home. Purcell, meanwhile, crashing big time in turn 3. So Purcell will rejoin the track as Mussatti has big time problems out of turn 4. Look first to Purcell. Those in between Matt Cherry and Daniel Half as Half, whoa! Purcell stacked up, spun the round. He got nailed by Jacob Cannon and spun down to the inside. And while that was all happening, Anthony Mussatti was having that moment off of turn 4 as he just tracked up across the nose. And I don't think he got in to the nose of Holden McGill, but we'll have to check. Right on board with the 21 car, and how this wasn't a wreck is beyond me. Yo, boy! That is about as close a shave as you can get as McGill can thank his lucky stars. Now trying to keep Robert and Grant Peterson tucked in behind. The whole pack tucked up line and stern. Sal is down in the pit road and effectively now out of this race as Robert Peterson trying to make the charge for that race lead. Again, looking down to the bottom. Peterson was great in the early stages, started to drop off a bit towards the end of the run though. And remember, we still have one more pit stop to go. It's going to be an easy stop though. It's just going to be taking enough fuel to get to the end. Not even a full tank. The big question is going to be, do you take tires on that pit stop? Or do you have to take fuel only and see if you can outlast the rest? Just in behind, Sean Kaiser. Sliding across the nose of Spencer Ray. These are 2 drivers that already collided once tonight by sliding across the nose, and that was when both of them got up into the outside wall about 10 laps ago. And they're both trying to run down Bear Morton just in front of them for 6th. Purcell will work back onto the racetrack now, 5 laps down, might be 6 by the time he fully gets out and up to speed. The 21 of the 97 still looking to go, and now here we go, side by side for the lead on the turn 4. But McGill able to pull around and clear from the top shelf. Boy, the racing is aggressive right now in the OMSRL Xfinity Series. You got Badger Racing locking out first, second, third, fourth. And then here's all the other teams just trying to make up the shortfall in the background. Still got Kaiser and Ray tucked up nose to tail, and these are a pairing that will not be easy to separate. Behind them, you have Matt Cherry. Cherry, no doubt, grateful for that caution as he was able to get back onto the same cycle and stop the bleeding. Same story for Jacob Noyes is now they're, well, the problem is they now don't have any possibility to get advantage on fresh tires. They just got to try to make sure they can get out there on all-out pace now. Now, how about the top four? It's a battle that's been looking to be getting up there, but not one that's been looking to come to fruition just yet. As all these guys running in the top grouping again, just like we saw towards the end of stage one, don't seem too eager on trying to actually battle it out. They look like they're more just trying to survive throughout this race and see if they can't just get through to the end. Holden McGill, by the way, the driver with the second most spots gained out of anybody. He is up 4 positions from where he started this race. The other 2 drivers that are in front of him are Brandon Kluge and the likes of Sean Kaiser. Both of them are up 5 positions from where they started earlier today. The driver that's lost the most, Andrew Musatti. He collected the outside wall, trying to break around Holden McGill for the lead. Way back on lap 59. On board with Peterson. He keeps trying to charge up to the back of McGill, but at the moment, I think Holden McGill doesn't have too much to worry about. I'm watching Ryan Dingler behind. I'm wondering how long it'll be before we see Dingler start to make moves in this one as well, because Dingler's, of course, a driver that is always trying to go for whatever race wins he can muster, teammates or not. But is it too early to start pushing? It looks like he thinks so, as he got to the back of Grant Peterson, and they didn't end up going to battle. He actually lifted off, tucked in line. You had to see that a couple times. I think what they're trying to do is break clear of Brandon Kluge and Moore, so as a team they can scrap it out in the closing laps once we're finished with the pit stop window. And right now, that is absolutely what everybody's gearing up for. We are about halfway through our final full stick of the evening. Unless we get another caution as Morton finds the wall. And that opens up the door for Sean Kaiser to attack down the inside of the Camerota Truck Parts Camaro. Sean Kaiser going to slide up in front of the 9. No room! Oh, boy! And Sean Kaiser almost being put into the outside wall as they worked across the start-finish stretch. Take a look at this on board with Morton. As this got a bit tight coming off at 4. Watch the squeeze. Boy, Morton cut Kaiser a huge break. He kept into the throttle. There was no way they were going to survive that one out of turn 4. So Sean Kaiser can thank Mayor Morton for that. Morton, meanwhile, has got them back by. Kaiser trying to re-attack for 6th now, as he'll work down in the turn numbers 1 and 2. Spencer Ray will find the outside wall, but barely misses a beat. Nathaniel Ames, meanwhile, works down in the pit road. He's wanted to pit early, and that will be able to get him to the end of the race now. So many drivers are packed up line of stern now. You got 2nd and 3rd, which have broken away from the other guys in the Badger Racing breakaway, and Robert Peterson has slipped back as a result of all of this. Dingler helping out Grant Peterson, trying to remain in touch with Holden McGill. But then they've got Robert Peterson all the way back to Sean Kaiser, and they are separated by 0.8 of a second. barely anything on the racetrack. Matt Cherry is also into the lane, hitting early, hoping to get the run on fresh tires. Now this is interesting from Matt Cherry, actually. This is exactly what he did at stage 1. It actually got him the stage 1 win, remember. He came down really early, much earlier than everybody else, but the gap that he got on fresh tires and having a lot of clean air was so massive that he had still a good 5-second lead by the time they got to the end of the stage. Could this be the race-winning strategy in stage 2 as well? Oh, Grant Peters into the wall. Ryan Dingler sweeps through to pick up number 2 as the 52 car slips back. Now Barrett Morton jumps to the bottom. Brandon Kluge trying to go at it for 5th and 6th. Spencer Ray, meanwhile, has caught back to the back bumper of these guys, and he is still going to be trying to find a way around. Nathaniel Ames way on the inside of the racetrack with fresh tires. He's just trying to work his way through this whole mess. Jacob Noyes follows Matt Cherry's suit. He is also in the pit road. Here comes Robert Peterson, Ryan Dingler, Brandon Kluge. All also diving into pit road with less than 25 to go. Hard on the brakes. And we are about 28 laps deep into our stint. Racing action continues in the main portions of this field as Ryan Dingler and Spencer Ray working to the top. Holden McGill locking it up as he slides into pit road. Grant Peterson just in behind. Here we go, then. Pit strategy in full force. As we eagerly await to see what the strategy game will bring about now in this race. Spencer Ray, Bear Morton seem to be taking the opposite strategy. They're trying to stay out as long as they can. That will give them the freshest tires of the field, but they will have lost the most time in the short run. So now it's a balancing game. How much time can you afford to give up versus how much time can you make back once you're on fresh tires? That's something that Spencer Ray's going to have to consider here as they'll come across the start-finish line and he takes 20 to go. Daniel Half leaving pit road. We now wait on the top 4. Spencer Ray, Bear Morton, Sean Kaiser, Jacob Cannon. Those are the 4 cars that have yet to stop. And they are looking to stretch these tanks out dry. So Robert Peterson in the moment believed to be the net race leader. Matt Cherry tucked up just behind at pit 3 laps earlier. So it's looking like Cherry's excessive undercut strategy did not pan out as well as he thought it might. So he's fighting out for the net race lead with Robert Peterson, who's a good few tenths up the road. And now he's into the wall. That's not going to do him any favors either. Morton bails out. He's into pit road as well. Now, Ray and Kaiser got to both be careful here on these fuel tanks because remember, we saw a couple of times cases in which drivers ran out of fuel getting out of pit road throughout the season. Most notably, though, this race, Nathaniel Ames, a driver that lost 2 laps trying to execute that strategy by running it out as far as he could. Ray's all that concerned, though, is he's going to keep on keeping on. Sean Kaiser down onto the apron, he will take it to pit road as well. There, Morton sliding through the field, as is Brendan Kluge, as Morton, see down there on the bottom, will rejoin the racetrack in 10th. Could lose 11th, though, by the time he gets up to speed. Oh, yeah, look at that. He will manage to maintain 10th. Good on him. Spencer Ray has got the two net race leaders right behind him. Robert Peterson and Holden McGill now trying to duke it out. Now McGill pitted a lap later than Peterson does, so has one lap fresher tires, and he is through to the race lead. Good drive there for McGill. So he'll take it to the bottom. Now Spencer Ray looking to finally be diving down in the pit road just as the leaders unlap themselves. Jacob Cannon, though, looking to stay out for one more. I think trying to get the bonus point for leading the lap, but I don't think he's going to get it. He definitely didn't get it this time around. He only just now took the lead, so unless he's still in the lead when he comes down to the pit road, which would be a miracle in of itself, it's not happening. Cherry now in battles for position on the racetrack, and all of this is just all-out pace down to the end with 15 laps to go. Again, he will start to slip further and further back. Cherry tried the strategy game. It worked out for the stage. It will not work out later in the race. It's one of those strategies that only really works once, and unfortunately used that one time trying to get the extra stage points. Busani back into the outside wall. Let's bear Morton through for 8th. Now Jacob Cannon, as the race leader, is right behind him. He has taken the lap or the point down for leading a lap. I would pit. There's no reason to stay out unless he is. You know what? He's actually hoping for a caution because he knows that by now, once he pits, he's losing a lap. So he is really hoping that he can go on and get himself a point or get himself some extra strategy points there at least, just by waiting for a caution to come out. But again, I don't think he's going to get one. We've only had one so far, and it was because of a pretty freak set of circumstances coming off of turn 2. As staying out again, and I'm not sure what the strategy is for Cannon here on staying out. I mean, just pit. Just pit. There's no reason to stay out. You're about to be passed for the lead by guys that are on now about 30 lap fresher tires. There's no point. You're not going to gain anything. Jacob Noyes, Spencer Ray having an exchange, as that was for the final spot inside the top 10. Sadi, I think, finding the wall just in front of them will let Spencer Ray run down that 49 car in a hurry. Ray with some of the freshest tires in this race, 12 lap fresh tires than Musadi, ducks to the inside, and Spencer Ray is through to 9th. So right now, he and Bear Morton are some of the freshest tires in this field, but they are 10 seconds behind the leaders. Unless they're reeling in by a second a lap, it's not nearly enough to take over the race lead by the end of this race. Looking like Jacob Cannon maybe coming down to pit road this. Oh, no, I thought he might. He would clip the apron there, and that usually is a good sign, but nope. Staying out again. Now Ames and Purcell try to get a lap back. And there is your leader, or who will become the race leader. .1 seconds and closing for Holden McGill. About 1 second back is Robert Peterson. At this point in time, Holden McGill effectively has the championship all locked up. Further behind, Matt Cherry, Spencer Ray, and Bear Morton all tucked up line astern as well. We'll get to that battle in a moment as here comes McGill. Looking at the top, breaks around Purcell, breaks around Ames. Around the top of Jacob Cannon goes Holden McGill. Racing officially to the lead as Cannon still I think he's trying to make it to the end, but he's not going to get there. He will have to pit at least once more before the race is over. I am 100% sure of that one. There it is, coming to pit road. Cannonball's out, a bit too late if you ask me, but he'll be down and into pit road. Now you got battles from Robert Peterson, Ryan Dingler, Grant Peterson. Now they're trying to siphon their way around Purcell and Ames. Lap traffic getting in the way of these podium fights, wreaking some last-minute havocs in the race at Kansas Speedway. Six laps to go. Oh, and Dingler and Grant Peterson now find the outside wall. So that's third and fourth that are into it. That could get Robert Peterson enough of a gap that he doesn't have to worry about it for these last 5 laps. If you want a close battle, though, how about Spencer Ray versus Baron Morton? 3-lap fresher tires than Morton has the likes of Ray. Spencer Ray ducks out, pokes to the inside, sends it to the inside, and he picks up 6th spot. So that makes Chase drivers now running first all the way through 6th. Now Brandon Kluge under heavy fire. Kluge and Ray have come together once already at lap 53, but no cautions this time about. Ray's through and Morton clears as well in 4. So time continuing to slowly but surely close out as Holden McGill continues to work the way with now 3 laps to go in the race. Morton and Ray aren't done battling it out themselves as the 9 to the inside of the 6. They will pack it up nose to tail right behind Grant Peterson. They roar down into turn numbers 3 and 4. Spencer Ray to the inside easily picks off from Hinja Tractor's Toyota Supra, and Bear Morton looking to do the same. Now could Spencer Ray potentially pick off even third before the end of this race? He's got 2 laps to catch up to Robert Peterson and Ryan Dingler. The 97-8 just exchange hands for the 2nd place. They're both losing time. Back to Spencer Ray. Cost of battling, but I think they might have just enough to, they won't have to worry about him. Robert Peterson to the inside of Dingler again, trying to retake 2nd. Holden McGill up the road will take the white flag. And this battle going on like it's no tomorrow, but up the road, Holden McGill dives into turn numbers 3 and 4. For Holden McGill, he won already, one champion in this one. And here tonight at the Kansas Speedway, 1 from the end, Holden McGill takes the Season 5 championship in the OMSRL Xfinity Series. Dingler hangs on for 2nd, Peterson for 3rd, as Holden McGill will, I'm going to reiterate this here, unofficially take the Season 5 championship. He has extended his lead in the points. It is above 50, and with just 1 race to go, there's effectively nothing anybody can do to stop that 21 car from taking the title So Holden McGill and the pay-to-win setup shot. Badger Racing Chevy Camaro will get to burn it down and ride over to California on Easy Street. So with McGill having officially wrapped things up for his number 21 car, we'll take a rundown of your official post-race results at the end of the night. As it ended up being McGill taking that race win in the Spearcrest Digital 150. Ryan Dingler takes it up in second. Robert Peterson finishes out the Badger Racing podium lockout. Spencer and Brad Morton wrap out the top 5. Brandon Kluge, Grant Peterson, Matt Cherry, Anthony Bussati, and Jacob Noyes round out the top 10. They had Sean Kaiser, Daniel Haff, Jacob Cannon, Nathaniel Ames, and Stefan Purcell to close out the field with all drivers finishing the racing action here tonight. We'll get the chance to talk to everybody at the end of this one, and we'll, of course, kick things off with the driver that will be unofficially the new champion for the OMSRL Xfinity Series. Holden McGill will join us up in the broadcast booth. And, well, Holden, it might not be quite official just yet, but you're definitely looking like it'll be secure with you for that championship ride. And I have to say, I think that's got to be a great and phenomenal way here to close out race number 9, being able to roll into that final race on Easy Street.
Oh, yeah, it'll make everything next week a lot easier, and we can just go and just have a good time and just shoot for the win.
Kind of walk us through, well, actually, let's first focus on one particular battle that happened throughout this race. Anthony Bussati was really giving you a headache there for the lead on the restart, and he slid right across the nose, put himself into the wall, and nearly wiped you out in the process. What went through your head when that whole mess went down in front of you?
Yeah, when he started coming up from the bottom, I was pretty sure he wasn't going to make it, so I tried to start getting down the track to hopefully get around him, but he said it right after it happened. He was just full sent it, because if he didn't, he was going to sit there and ride behind me. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes it just doesn't pay off.
Looking now further forward to the Auto Club Speedway, you mentioned it'll be a race for fun. Obviously, Auto Club, it's always been a draft-heavy racetrack and a track that a lot of racers and fans have adored alike. What can be the strategy then for that 21 car entering the season finale?
Same as any other time. Just stay out of trouble, keep the car clean, try not to tick anybody off, and be there at the end, and hopefully it works out.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck then when we go racing 1 week from now down at the Auto Club Speedway. Congratulations on the race win and a new championship here tonight.
Thanks, Nolan. We'll see you Friday.
That was Holden McGill joining us up here in the broadcast booth, and we'll move on down to the driver that wraps it up in the number 2 spot. It is Ryan Dingler, the driver that finishes runner-up to Holden McGill, and again, a driver that was giving a lot of folks headaches tonight in terms of all these battles. But, Ryan, you pick up the number 2 spot, just able to pick off Robert Peterson in those final 5. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I don't know. When I heard him say he was pitting on that last time, I just locked him up and took it down pit road, because it was right where I would hit my braking point, because it was clear behind me. So he took 2 tires, and I wasn't sure if I was going to catch him, but I think it made him just loose enough, because he put full fuel in it, that I was able to finally catch up with him after he made a couple blunders with the wall.
Kind of walk us through the strategy game tonight, because a lot of drivers opted to pit much earlier than you might expect some to when it came to these stints, and a lot of other folks wanted to take it in late. What was the strategy like at the Badger Racing camp tonight?
Well, we didn't really talk about pitting strategy much. We just kind of were winging it all night.
I mean, hey, winging it seemed to work so far with a podium lockout. Entering the season finale 1 week from now, what do you think we have in that number 8 car to put it as high up into the standings as possible for the final race?
I don't know. No one's going to win this but Holden. I'm just going to show up and try to have a good time. The finishing position really don't matter at this point. As long as I can show up and have fun and not get, angry about nothing. So.
Well, we wish you the best of luck then when we go racing in Fontana. Congratulations, meanwhile, on taking second place tonight.
Appreciate it.
That was Ryan Dingler joining us up here in the broadcast booth, and does not look like we'll be able to get in touch with Matt Cherry, so that will bring things to a close here tonight from the Kansas Speedway. What a wild race, as always, that it has been. Next week, the OMSRL Xfinity Series will close out the championship when they go racing in Fontana, California. But we're going to be headed back down south to Florida tomorrow for the Beer League, where 30-some Ford Mustang FR 500Ss will take it to the 2.5-mile super speedway for 50 laps of racing action. Austin Edstrom and I will be bringing you all of the action. And then, of course, the Speed Cup Series returns to Martinsville, Virginia, to the world's fastest paperclip, where those front bumpers will be seeing a lot of use as they get set to lock out the Final Four in their playoff series season. That and so much more coming on up soon on Green Flag TV. We'll see you all when we go racing one final time next week in Fontana.